he got so heated and angry. But those was warning signs that I ignored, and they were clear, and I should have, like, after that first time. That's why now, going forward, I pray that I never have to go through that again. But I kid you not, if I'm with someone, even if we're just dating, and the person says, I'm not dating anybody else, I'm not having any relations at all like that, none whatsoever with anybody else, if this individual tell me this, and then I find out that this individual has lied, I'm not going to be dating. We're not going to date anymore. I don't care. I don't want to hear no, oh, I was scared to tell you what I didn't know, especially when I'm a very upfront person. I would let you know. We're just dating. So if you're going to be seeing other women, that's fine. Just let me know, because I don't want to be caught by surprise. I don't want us to be out somewhere and, these women start walking up to us or trying to fight me or whatever, because I don't fight. I would just shoot you and get it done and over with. Like, for real, I'm not going to shoot to kill unless you got a gun to try to shoot to kill. But if you mess with me, I'm going to tase you, mace you, or shoot you. You're going to get one of those three, or even stab. One of those four, or all. It all depends on how many is in the group, how the size of the person and everything. Because I have definitely not going to be fighting with no big girl. No. I don't fight big women, especially big, fat, obese women and stuff. That I'm not fit to fight you. I'm just going to shoot you, get it done over with, because I'm not fit to be tussling with no big old woman. I'm not doing it. I got too much health issues and diseases that messes with my muscle tissue as it is. So I'm not going to be out there tussling. I'm definitely not going to be fighting over a man, especially a man that's not even mine yet. We're just dating. Even if we're together in a relationship, if he's out there hoeing and he cheating and messing around, I'm not fit to fight over him. I'm not going to, I've never fought over no guy. I'm not going to fight no female over a dude. Never. I leave him where he's at and keep it moving. That's what me going to do. So those was warning signs that I seen, and I ignored them. Even though I walked away from them, I was drawn back in, reeled back in by this individual, because they started making changes, like very clear changes, and the changes was consistent for a while. But then, as they say, old habits sometimes resurface, and his old habits and old ways start resurfacing. And now we're no longer together after being together for 5 years. So that's why you don't want to ignore warning signs. So those are warning signs with relationships, intimate, personal relationship, marriages, the infidelities. Warning signs also, now this topic is going to be warning signs, children, parents and children. Parents, this is something that a lot of parents do too often. I went through this myself as a child. So this is, again, everything that I'm explaining to you all. I'm coming from a place of experiencing it. I'm not coming from a place of something that I read online or saw in somebody else's post or whatever. No, these are things that I experienced in my own personal life. So the warning signs with parents and children. Parents, especially parents that have multiple children, it is never okay to let your other children bully, abuse your other children, to abuse each other. I don't want to hear no sibling rivalry. All kids would be kids. Don't do that, because a lot of times children will just laugh stuff off, or they will tolerate things because they feel like they can't come to you and talk to you about it. They feel like they can't, that you're not going to take it serious, because if they come to you and they be like, Mom, my sister keep calling me this, Mom, my brother keep calling me this name, and I don't like it. It really hurts my feeling. He keeps, being mean to me, or she keeps being mean to me. And, the parent be like, oh, suck it up. That's, he just playing with you. She just playing with you. It doesn't matter if the child is playing. The fact is, nobody wants to be verbally abused all the time. Nobody don't want to be called names. And I'm not talking about one of those children who like to start stuff, but then when it's retaliated back, they can't take it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some children do bully their siblings. Some children do single out a certain sibling and want to bully them and be very physically or verbally, emotionally abusive to them. Do not allow any of your children to do that to each other. It's not cool. It's not fun, because a lot of times the children, they just deal with it and they suck it up, and then that's why a lot of these children are so angry. You got a lot of angry young people out here. You got 12, 13-year-olds wanting to kill people. You got 10-year-old, 8, 9, 10-year-olds jumping on other 9, 8, 9, and 10 years old and killing them and stuff. You know, beating them so severely that they die. You know, it's just like, why are these small children so angry? Why are they in such a rage like that? You know, and a lot of parents are lazy. They don't like to deal with conflicts. They don't want to deal with those kind of situations. They don't want to sit down and talk about conflict resolution, communication, respect, dignity. A lot of parents don't sit down and have like actual conversations with their children about these things. A lot of kids call it lecturing, but I sat down with my son. I will always talk with him. We had talks all the time, like on a daily basis. We always talk about dignity, respect, honor, principles, right from wrong. We talk about everything. Even still today, me and my son, we talk on levels where, and I wanted to keep that. I wanted to be where he could come to me and talk to me about anything. Parents, you should never make your child feel uncomfortable to come to you and talk to you about things. I don't care what it is. I don't care if the child say, well, I feel like I saw somebody doing drugs and I seen how it made them act and stuff, and they said it made them feel like this. I thought about doing it. If they want to come to you and talk to you about that, don't be cursing them out. What the F wrong with you? What the F you mean you want to do that? You don't have to yell at them and tear them down, because the fact that if anytime you have a child that is entertaining the idea of doing hard street drugs like that, that is a red flag that something more deeper is going on with your child. So instead of yelling at your child, you need to be trying to find out what is the underlying issue going on with your child that will make your child feel like he or she or they need to go out here and experiment drugs or experiment something that is harmful to their health or that can cause them to gain a criminal record or felony stuff. You need to sit down and find out why your child feel the need to do that. Why do they feel that way? But a lot of parents do not know how to have effective communication with their children. They don't sit down and have dialogue with their children. They dictate. A lot of parents sit down and they dictate to their children, or they don't talk about things until it's brought up. You shouldn't wait till certain things are brought up before you talk to your children about it. You sit down and you talk to them about it. You talk about emergencies. You talk to them about what they need to do in the case of emergency. If there is a home intruder, you sit down and you talk to them about that. You sit down and you talk to them about, having self-respect, and how society doesn't really care for people. You get it harder when you decide to be an upright, upstanding, moral person. You'll have more people that'll look at you sideways than before you if you were like that. You have to explain these things to them, and you have to constantly show it to them. And not only do that, but you also have to be spending quality time with them where you're telling them these things. You can't just tell them this stuff and then just leave them out in limbo. You can't do that. You have to spend time with them, and you have to show compassion to your children. You have to show them love, even if you don't understand them. Sometimes there's a lot of things, like I don't be always understanding my son, and I know that he keeps a lot of stuff balled in. My son is not the type that just come and be very expressive and like to talk. I have to like literally pull it out of him. It's like trying to pull a T-bone steak out of a lion's mouth, and that is going to be almost nearly impossible, or impossible. But that's how it is with my son, because he's not expressive like that with his feelings. I'm very animated and more expressive. He's very withdrawn and reserved. And I used to be like that too when I was his age. I didn't know how to express myself. Um, I wasn't able to just go to my mom and talk to her like he's able to come to me and talk with me and stuff like that. Now, me and my mom, we could talk about anything and stuff, and she sees now that religion, you know, was the reason why, and I know too for a fact that religion was the reason why my mom made a lot of decisions that she made, and did certain things that she did, pertaining raising me and my siblings. There were certain things that the church, the pastor, was telling her to do that was not right. So, and then that pastor was raised incorrectly herself. So, you got a lot of people who don't know better trying to teach other people how to do things, and they're out of order and they're inappropriate themselves with it. But that's what happens, and a lot of times, especially with melanin people and melanin communities, we don't sit down and we do not talk to our children. We yell at them, we scream, we curse them out, we ignore things. We tell them stop being a punk, stop being a sissy, or stop being this, stop being that, stop being weak. It's a dog eat dog world. You need to have tough skin, and all of that's fine. They can still have tough skin, and you can talk to them and let them know about things. Because my son has very tough skin. He's very emotionally detached from things. Very, even though he might respond to things emotionally because he's young. He's only 19, so. We don't, you got 49-year-old, 59 years olds that still don't have a grip on their emotions. So, it's a work in progress, but he doesn't lash out on his emotions. And it takes a lot of restraint to do that, especially at that age with all this temptation out there. So, parents, it's very crucial that you make sure that you give your children an outlet and a platform to be able to come to you about anything. And you don't let nobody abuse your children in any form or fashion. I don't care if it's verbally, psychologically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, sexually. You don't let no one abuse your children. You put your feet down, and you tell them, look, if you're going to have to stop abusing my child, you're not going to talk to my child like that. I don't care if it's one of your other children. You're not going to talk to your sister or your brother like that. You're not going to handle them this way. If I catch you doing it again, it's going to be repercussions, and you got to say what you mean and mean what you say, because that tears them down. And that's why you got some children, as they become older, they have no self-respect, or they cling to anything or anyone that feels like they genuinely love and care for them. They'll just cling to it. That's why you have a lot of teenage pregnancies. You got young girls just popping up pregnant because they don't feel, it's one thing I won't say that they don't feel love, but they don't feel like they're loved for themselves. They don't feel like they can really go to them. And you have a lot of parents, they be like, my child can't come to me. Oh, they can. Okay, if they could come to you, are you going to dictate to them, though? That's the thing. Sometimes children just need a listening ear. Sometimes they don't need you to give them analog, or give them the third degree, or give them pushback, or give them rebuttal. Sometimes they just want, even if it's something bad, sometimes they just need to know that you're there as a listening ear, and that they can come to you and they can talk to you about anything that they may be experiencing and going through, without having to deal with you looking at them sideways, or have to deal with you with the parent being, how can I say it?
Keep your niggas just